I think this already aired. It's Miles and Arl Solberg. I don't think he asked him the right questions though. Next time you talk to Miles, Arl Solberg, Rob, you should ask him what his church defines as sin. And I'd be curious what you define as sin, Rob. Because in the Catechism of Miles Church, to break Sunday Sabbath is a sin. So is that legalism, Arl Solberg, Dr. Solberg? Is not eating food that God said is food? Is eating food that God said is food and not eating food that God said is not food? Is that legalism? Or what is food, Dr. Solberg, according to the Bible? Is it legalism to say, I don't know, not to say what God says is and isn't food? Is it okay to eat things that eat poop? Is that good for you? Is it legalism to tell people, I don't think God thinks things that eat poop for a living are food? Is that legalism? Is it okay to say it's a sin to not eat poison? Like when God says eating poison is a sin, is that okay? Or is that legalism? Just wondering. Like, how far do you want to take that? Sometimes sin is just things that aren't good for you, and God says aren't good for you, so it's a sin. Is that legalism? Is not honoring the Sunday as a new Sabbath being a sin? Is that legalism? Yeah, Adventists have a lot in common with Hebrew roots. We don't think the law of God is bad and that we're supposed to keep it. But most of my Hebrew roots friends think I'm a hypocrite. So, and most Christians think we're legalists. Is there anything a sin anymore? What are people being saved from, Dr. Solberg? Is there a biblical definition for sin? I haven't seen you give one. What are people being saved from? Just curious. Because most of Christianity in the history of the church, from the earliest church fathers, pointed to the Sermon on the Mount, emphasizing the Ten Commandments. Most churches still do, but they don't say it anymore because of Adventism. Because of that darn Sabbath just glaring there in the middle of the law of God, which, by the way, is in the ark in heaven in the temple. Theology that Adventists developed because it's clearly in the text. Jesus is actively ministering from the heavenly temple, the one on earth was patterned after. And the ark of his covenant is in the temple. Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. Is that still true? Yeah, we think it's a sin to break the Sabbath because the law says so, and it's in heaven and in the temple. So I want to know is what you should ask, Miles, is it a sin in his church to not obey the Sabbath on Sunday? And the answer is yes. So let's be fair now.